We're back. Oh no, my arch nemesis is this. So, okay. This is going to be round 3 of the Vintage Challenge. We're playing against Thomas Marr, noted 4-color Deathrite Shaman expert. So hopefully we can figure out a path to victory here. Typically, he kicks the shit out of me. This is actually a turn 1 PO. So I'm going to keep this hand. And just jam. It's actually not a turn 1 PO. I miscounted, right? 4 mana. I'm 1 short of PO. So I could turn 1 Merchant Scroll instead. Then I can't PO. But I get to cast Ancestral. If I use this 1 and then use 2 and then I go down to 3, yeah. So I can't... so what I wanted to do was play my key off of my Mana Vault, which puts me down to 3 mana. Untap my Sapphire, which puts me at 3 mana, unfortunately. 2 and 1 blue. So I think the next best option is to just Merchant Scroll this turn. So I am going to cast my key. I still think that this keep is correct, even knowing that I don't have turn 1 PO. I did miscount, though. We could also cycle a hollow one here, but I think it makes more sense to just get an Ancestral. In this case, if I were to lose my Sapphire, all I need is a blue land. We could cast a hollow one. That is an option that we did have. Alright, let's see what Thomas has here. If it's a Deathrite Shaman? No, it's not a Deathrite Shaman. So I'm going to take the 1 here. What I'm really looking for is like a land. Is that what I wanted? The problem is I'm going to have to discard one of these blue cards, and I'm not really willing to do that yet. I'm not willing to do that. I could just PO on their turn. I'm going to just hold this Bazaar and pass. The opponent is representing Pyroblast and Flusterstorm. Bazaar is not a land. Bazaar is a spell. Come on now. I do have to choose when and how I want to make this play. I could have done it in the upkeep, which would play around Fluster. I think what'll happen now is I can't play around Fluster. So I guess I can play around Fluster because I have key. Alright, I'm going to cast Ancestral, which is what they know I have. If they Fluster this for 3, I can use my key to untap my Mana Vault and pay. They have Pyroblast? Oh no. They have their own Ancestral. Okay. So if they don't have a counter, they have to discard. They would have to have Force, too. I should look at the last Tomas list that I've seen. What's the last Svakta list? Svaka. Alright, the last place... Alright, so they have 4 Dazes? Wow. This is significantly different from the last time I seen them. No Pyroblast in the main. 4 Dazes, a misstep. And 4 Force, no negation. Okay, this is good. So if this resolves, then we're just going to jam on our turn. I didn't realize they were on no force, no pyroblasts or 1 mana counters in the main. Only dazes and forces. Obviously, they could be playing a different list this week. We should just make sure we play around daze, though. And I need to make sure I untap this vault at the end of turn no matter what. I don't know what the tank is, unless it's just the discard tank, or if it's they have a force but they're afraid to use it. So they had a force. Okay. So it's kind of unlikely they have a second force, so as long as we play around daze on our turn, we should have a chance to PO really well. Or we should be able to PO here. I'm gonna make 7 mana, 6 mana, an additional blue mana. Six mana. Yeah, I think an additional blue mana is better than the colorless mana. Alright, do you have another Force of Will? No. Perfect. I have Vault Key here. I'm not even going to show them hollow ones in game 1, which is kind of sick. I am going to play Island, though, just to play around the most things. Alright, I have Vault Key. That went really well. I think we played that pretty smart. See if we get a concession. Alright, we didn't even have to... we didn't even show them the 2 hollow ones, 2 Bazaars in our hand, chat. Easy. Alright, so opponent is Ancient Grudge, Assassin's Trophy, 3 Pyroblasts, and Nature's Claim. So we definitely don't want Bolas's Citadel, even though they're a Dak Faden deck. I think you just take your chances with Blightsteel here. Definitely not a Caracas deck or a Tabernacle deck. They definitely are a deck where we want Fatal Push. And I think we're a deck where we want Flusterstorm. They're a Wasteland deck, which is something to be aware of. What do we want to take out in this matchup here? This is a great question. What do we want to take out here? Oh, we already took out Bolas's Citadel for Blightsteel, even though they have 2 Dak Fadens, but they have way more answers to Citadel. And then we need to find 2 more cards to take out. I'm not 100% sure what I want to take out. Yeah, I probably was going to Bazaar Hollow one just to finish the game. It's kind of hard to win without doing that because I would have to like do Bola Citadel shenanigans. So I don't know what I'm supposed to cut here though. I have to cut 2 cards. I don't know. I am very active. I wouldn't. I don't even know if I would put. I don't even think I would make top 10. I don't think. I have a lot of respect for a pretty large subsection of vintage grinders. People like Shere Khan, Nico Boni, and a bunch of the Japanese players, Discoveren, Sing Pan Man. There's like a bunch of people who I think are very, very talented. So definitely not Jacob. All right, I need 2 cards to cut, chat. You're distracting me. I don't really want to cut any of these. Maybe I don't need an expedition map here. It's like kind of bad to play Vault Key, but I don't actually think I can cut it, unfortunately. Maybe we just go down 1 repeal, because they're not really a permanent based hate deck. That's just not how Svaka builds his decks. He builds his decks on the stack. with a bunch of spells. So I'm going to go with this and see how it goes. Even right now, the list of players who are qualified for the showcase, Sing Pang Man, Maharu Fuyamiya, Shere Khan, Ivy True, Montolio, Jose Ortiz, Reed, like all of those players I would consider to be better than me. So like, and that's just the list of people who are already qualified, right? So, oh, nice. We're gonna surprise our opponent with the quick. Oh, we'll chase Daredevil off of Bizarre activation. I'm sure we're gonna get met with a wasteland, but you know, it happens. Deathrite Shaman is a very typical start here. See what happens. I don't think that Svaka pays a lot of attention to the shenanigans that's happening around Vintage, particularly me. I think he's kind of above that. So I think this might catch them by surprise. But Deathrite Shaman is pretty good against Daredevils, so I think I'm just going to start by Underground Sea Fatal Push. And obviously they can have one of their 4 dazes here, but I really think you don't want to play dazes against PO. I think this is worth doing though. I also don't have a Moxen to bring back my Daredevil right away. All right, nice. I'm really happy that resolved. And they missed a land drop. This is very good for me. I would definitely play a Riddlesmith if I had a 0 drop in hand. I just don't. So let's go with Bizarre. I missed on a 0 drop again. I think I'm just gonna get rid of one of the Riddlesmiths. I do kind of want as many land drops as I can, unfortunately. So that was a really rough activation of Bizarre, but I think it's fine. I just want to hit a Moxen. We're gonna be in great shape if we hit a Moxen. Opponent also missed on a land drop, so there's an amount of whiffing on both sides. They didn't have a daze for the Fatal Push, which lets me actually pitch these and not lose them, so let's see what happens. Opponent whiffed again. Okay. Well, I did miss on Moxen again. So I think I'm just gonna... Oh man, what am I gonna do? Am I even gonna activate this Bizarre? I could just play a Riddlesmith out and pass. Seems really bad. Let's activate Bizarre. Holy moly. Alright, Bizarre. I don't think I want Force. I think I'm just gonna pitch Bizarre, Force, Riddlesmith, and play a Riddlesmith. I could go get could go get an Ancestral. I think I'd rather just play a Riddlesmith though. Alright, I have an active cruise now, so that's a plus. Opponent really is just breaking into Oblivion. Alright, they hit their land drop. That can't be good for the home team. What is this going to be? Demonic? Oh, Dark Confidant. Okay. That's fine. That's a very Zvaka thing to do. And now they're tapped out. I'd love to hit a Moxen. That's not exactly a Moxen, but I'll take it, I guess. Need to return these things. I have to discard this Blightsteel for sure. Alright, so this brought back my Daredevils, which gives me an active Bizarre again. And I missed on Moxen again. How? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm actually short on cruising. How is this possible? I don't know what's going on, chat. I'm gonna swing in and see if they'll trade. I could eat one of these Daredevils, maybe? Should I eat a Daredevil? I already have one Riddlesmith. I think I should. I think I should. That just happened? Okay. I don't know what's in opponent's hand, but I'm gonna keep Tinker because I have a Vault in play. This is gonna return Daredevil, which, I mean, this is insane, right? So now I'm just gonna go off. I mean, if everything's gonna resolve, that's certainly good for me. Opponent could have traded here. Opponent had the option to trade here. They chose not to, okay? That was my opponent's choice. I have so many cards. Why do they need a Dark Confidant? They found a Daze. Wow. So I just dodged Daze that whole time. Incredible. I feel like I got very lucky and very unlucky in this game. Because opponent has had just stone cold nothing that mattered. But we have just hit no artifacts for a very long time, so. Now they have 10 cards in hand, though, so let's see what happens, chat. They're back in the game. They have 10 cards, including a Daze. We've got an army of hollow ones. Let's see what happens. I guess I can just F6. I don't really think there's any reason for me to keep not. So if we can force like them to have a Force of Will or a Daze for something and then tinker into a key, that would be ideal. We also just have a very good attack. They kind of need to deal with Riddlesmith because if we hit Moxen, we just draw a card every Moxen. So we have a lot happening right now. An opponent has to answer. So they found a Wasteland for Bazaar, but that doesn't matter anymore. They have a Daze, they have a Dark Confidant, and they might have a Force, but they also, like, it's true. Bug has a really hard time dealing with a recurring 4-2. They pitched a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. We drew a PO. So they have a Pyroblast up. I'm trying to figure out if I would rather, like, try to PO and then try to tinker. Or would I want to play Bazaar? I don't know. They probably have Pyroblast, Force, Daze, but if they use all of those things, that's kind of okay too, right? Daze does currently matter, because I would have to activate my Tolarian Academy, which would make me 1 mana short. It's kind of actually unfortunate. I would be 1 mana short. I currently have I have 8 mana, and I kind of need 9 mana, which is kind of awful. Man. We could attack first. I don't want to lose this Riddlesmith, so I kind of want to just attack with hollow ones. I guess, like, at the end of the day, we do just want to attack to start no matter what, so I don't think I'm willing to trade Riddlesmith for Dark Confidant, though. Alright, now they're dead to Force of Wills off the top. I could just pass and, like, make it so they're holding up stuff doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to play Bazaar and activate. I don't see any reason to force the issue when they have this open mana. 1, 2... pitch a PO? Does that even make sense? I guess it makes sense. I just want this back in my hand. Alright, well now I can PO around Daze, and I have this in my hand so it can't get eaten or anything. I think this is a perfectly fine place to be. Make them do things on their turn. So let's see if they get hit for 5 here and lose. That would be fun, right? They got hit for 1, okay. Alright, they have 9 cards in hand. Let's see what happens. They're at 4 life. They have an active Confidant, but we have an army of hollow ones. We have a bunch of powerful spells and a Bazaar. and 2 recursion engines. All right, they just concede. Sweet. We were able to hide Bazaar in game 1, and then boom, hollow ones. Very fun. Very fun. All right, that's a 3-0 start. You love to see it.